Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Simon here, and we have Skeleton Crew ready to go. It's the Christmas period. I've got my Christmas tree up in the background, and of course, every Christmas now it seems like there is a new Star Wars series rather than a Star Wars movie. I've got to say I do miss the kind of build-up to the festive period when there is a Star Wars movie due to come out in the cinema. Usually around this time of year, you're kind of really excited about the potential of what the story could be, but that hasn't been a thing for 5 years now. It's been 5 years since the release of The Rise of Skywalker, so time does fly. Speaking of time, Skeleton Crew released at a very strange time for us in the UK. It was 2 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, and it was kind of like they shifted it last week. It should have been on a Wednesday morning originally, but last week they decided to move the premiere date a day earlier, which really kind of screwed with my plans because I've got a very busy Tuesday, so I couldn't watch it, when it released. Obviously, it's daytime outside right now, so I'm hoping that going forward for the remaining episodes, I will be able to watch, as and when they are released, sort of on the day. But for these two episodes, I won't be able to. Now, Skeleton Crew, obviously, we've had a bit of a rocky ride with the Acolytes. Regardless of your feelings on the show, I'm sure that you can admit that it wasn't received very well. Again, whether there was justification or not, it was definitely controversial. And it shouldn't have been, but it was. And so we're at a point now where there's been a little bit of trepidation with Skeleton Crew, certainly from my perspective, because I don't want that same thing to happen. I want the show to be good. I want people to like it. I don't want there to be a whole hoo-ha online about, stories and lore and just everything that there is that goes along with that. I'm kind of just hoping that either people don't watch it if they're not going to enjoy it, or people just watch it and enjoy it, By all means, you've got your right to voice your opinion, but I think a lot of us are just tired of hearing the same old thing repeated over and over again. That being said, I really do hope that this show is good. What do I really want to see out of this show? Well, I kind of just want to see something small scale, something adventurous, something fun, something that doesn't tie into a bigger plot about the Star Wars galaxy. Keep the mentions of the Jedi and the Sith to a bare minimum. Keep the mentions of the Force to the bare minimum. Just have it be fun. That's all it needs to be, especially if it's just going to be a piratey adventure with kids. If it's going to be the Goonies in space, then it just needs to be the Goonies in space. It doesn't need to be anything more or less than that. So we'll see how we go with these first two episodes. Typically, the first couple of episodes have most of the marketed material. I've only really seen the two trailers. I've not seen many of the clips that are going around. That's Zuko, who, as always, sees the opportunity of me talking into the camera to then go and make a bit of a disruption for himself on the side there. So again, I'm going to be honest with the show, but I'm not going to be brutal. I'm not going to just completely shit on it if I don't think it's good. I'll just be honest. I'll just say, well, I don't think this was great, or I thought this was great. I'm just a little concerned again about the really short episode times. This one, the opening episode's about 45 minutes, including credits. The second episode's only about 28 minutes, including credits. So again, that's something that's always concerned me with the live action shows, is the fact that they are very, very short. And I remember seeing an article talking about how this was originally a concept for a film that got adapted into a TV show. And I don't think Disney has the best reputation, certainly the best history of those kinds of projects. Looking at Kenobi, that was originally a film turned into a TV script, and it was not very good. But well, fingers crossed. Who knows? We'll have to jump in and have a look. So there's going to be no full reactions for this. It's just going to be the YouTube reactions, as I say, every week on top of other videos I might be bringing out. If you haven't, do subscribe. Follow me over on Blue Sky. And let's just jump into it. Ooh, okay, yes. Damn. Ooh, they very much remind me of the CIS boarding squid things. God damn. Oh my god, do you just get shot in the eye and take it? Oh, space hijacking.
Excellent work, Brutus. Excellent.
Oh, look at that mask.
Now, take me to the vault. You've lost your shit.
We have no credit shipment. This is a bulk freighter.
If this is a bulk freighter, why is your vault magnetically sealed?
This is ambassador. If this is a consular ship, where is the ambassador?
Scum, leave this
Oh,
immediately.
now you done it. Oh, it's empty. Oh dear, all this explosive opening, cool action, and he's found to be a bit of a poor captain. I'm thinking, is this Jude Law? It does. It sounds like Jude Law. Look at Zuko. Look at Zuko in the background. I'm trying to watch this kid eat cereal and blue milk, and Zuko's there trying to bring down the tree. I've seen a lot of people hate on this suburban Star Wars, but I really like it. I feel like Star Wars should kind of reflect in some way our own world. And of course, there's going to be a suburban Star Wars planet out there. It might feel a bit weird if this is kind of, you know, very familiar to you, but I like it. Trying to figure out who that is. Oh, are they old enough to drive? I don't think they are. Oh god, I couldn't go to school with a robot teacher. Like, I liked school as a kid, but it was because of the teachers, you know?
I want to be a senior statistical accountant.
Ah, yes.
Nerd!
And you. No fair, I want to be an
I want to speak basic.
Don't worry, we need all the analysts we can get.
Seriously? No one wants to be an astronaut? Which in this universe I appreciate is very easy.
Careful.
My god. Do they not have mirrors to check for children on hoverbikes?
Wasn't that great? It's no good, Fern. This one's all corroded.
She's the dreamer.
Fern?
She's the rogue.
Gotta get a new power converter.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Waste Toys. Heard you had some trouble with your bike. That's the problem with baby toys.
I heard you've had some struggles with your acting.
No race.
Really? Be there this
Adam
week.
Driver Jr.
Mommy lets you. Bye, losers.
Bye, losers. That was so weak. Yeah.
No way. You
You
gotta
need a bully with conviction, that's what you
the
need.
only way to do
He
it.
didn't have the conviction of a bully. Does she live in, like, the fancier part of the neighbourhood? Is she a bit richer than the rest? Kind of looks like it. Ooh, look at that mural.
I didn't see you, Fern.
Trying to figure out who that is in the mural.
Oh, hey, Mom. I was just studying in my room.
Yes. Fern was studying in her room.
I like that effect. I like the hologrammatic effect on the thing. Like I say, I like the visual of the show, the suburban life visual so far. You know, everything's kind of boring. Do you know that they need a license to fly a hoverbike around here? Because, like, kids can't drive mopeds. Oh, there goes your helmet. You're gonna die. I'll give you credit, it looks better than the speeder chase in Book of Boba Fett.
I better go home. Like my dad said. So...
She's the bad influence. I like it. She's got a cocky attitude. Look at the way she's sat. Oh, yes, give me some Star Wars Holiday Special shit like this. That is a great little callback to that. Some trippy LSD shit that's going on here.
Two.
Gotta unspool it. Gotta unspool the cable.
Trespassers.
Oh, not again.
Rip, Neil!
You are in violation of protocol. Answer or be vaporized.
That's gonna be...
Crush on that school.
Sorry, Fern made me say. Oops, hang on.
That's a pretty cool party trick to have. You could have Darth Vader's voice. Does she not have like X-ray eyes on that visor? Like look through the doorway. Ooh, that I'm not sure that's the best idea, hooking it up to your brain. It's a ship. Yeah, it's not a temple, it's a ship.
Wait, did you guys hear that? Hear what? And he did anyway.
Alright, don't have to be a bitch about it, you know?
No, not when he sees that I'm right.
Could just,
Graham, what are you doing?
I don't know, be a bit nicer.
Wait up for me!
Ooh. Oh, it's the droid. It's the Nick Frost droid. Question is this ship going to be able to take off?
Without power.
I know they get lost, but it's like...
We might find the power source.
Doesn't feel like this ship has the ability to fly at this point.
Did you know that some Jedi temples could lower down and bury themselves in times of danger?
Lothal,
All we gotta do is find the power before we run out of
buried
air.
in the desert, or the grasslands, whatever it is.
Where's KB? It's in some sort of hibernation mode.
Then don't touch it!
So we get up.
The bomb says deactivated. I think maybe I should push a button. Or hit it. Those seats... Or is it... Is it upside down? Yeah, I've just realised it. The ship is upside down.
We can open the hatch, get out, and get back home. Okay?
Or push the big button. It's a big green button, not a red button. Do it.
Whip, hello?
Oh, droid's online. Uh-oh. Get back in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's a fatal fall if you... Oh, that was lucky. You get back here now. You've got an exam to take. He doesn't seem overly concerned, the dad, does he? Very muted reactions. Oh, was the barrier just a made-up excuse to keep them on the planet?
I think they're planets. They're stars. I didn't know there'd be so many.
So is this like a self-isolated planet? Okay, so pretty fun opening episode. A few interesting things there. So am I right to assume that the planet itself is like self-isolated? Like they're told they can't interact with the rest of the galaxy. Obviously there's some kind of a phenomenon which means they can't really see the night sky. But it seemed like the kids had this kind of impression that if they were to try and fly into space, they'd hit this barrier and die. Which is interesting, because then how did they get knowledge of Jedi? How much do they know about the outside universe? Is it just something they tell kids just to scare them? In that case, you know, you think they'd still teach them about the outside galaxy? Definitely an interesting one. I wasn't expecting it to be like them being that isolated on that planet alone. But I guess it will add to the kind of sense of adventure and the naivety of the kids going into the open galaxy. The kids themselves, relatively fun. You can see how, you know, each one of them is kind of unique and different. You've got the kid who has the parent issues, who, you know, clearly longs for more in life, wants to help people. You've got the kind of dorky sidekick, you've got the smart girl, and you've got the kind of the rogue rich girl who, you know, wants fun and clearly has a journey that they need to go on to, you know, show that they have a heart of gold. It is kind of like classic 1980s adventure stuff in terms of the character development, and the sort of backgrounds of the characters. You know, there's always a character who has parentage issues. There's always the dorky character. But, you know, that's what obviously they all need to be. They all need to be different. And the kids did a pretty damn good job in this episode of acting. You know, again, I think there is always a big risk when you center a show primarily around young actors. You know, specifically the kind of, I guess they'd be between 11 and 13 at this point. So it is always a bit of a risk because, you know, you need to get it spot on. And it feels so far, just off the one episode, like they've done a pretty good job. The opening scene with the pirates was great. I love the kind of thematic, you know, way of keeping it very piratey, you know, with the kind of the heist. You know, you see not just the you'd equate them, I guess, to like the planks going ship to ship, but you had like the transport tubes that were breaching into the ship, and it reminded me at points of the CIS squid, you know, robots that would penetrate with you know, the kind of big fins that would open up. And I also love like the men in the spacesuits that would like literally dive across. You know, that was a kind of a great little, just again, it's very, very on the nose as to what it's supposed to be. You know, they're not afraid of being like, hey, here's a really overly cheesy, overly kind of like representative take on pirates. You know, just imagine it's space rather than the sea. You know, quite literally. But it's fun, and you know, it mixes in there a little bit of danger because it was quite brutal, that opening scene. You know, one guy literally got shot in the eye and just kept on going. But whether that was like a bad eye, I don't know. But still, it would have hurt, even if it wasn't a real eye, because it's a blaster shot to an eye stalk in that case. And, you know, I think the captain, again, I don't want to try and theorize too much, but I think, you know, the captain is going to be Jude Law's character. He would have been the head of the pirates. And so, you know, that's going to be his backstory. Whether they lean into it heavily or not, kind of hope they don't have too many secrets. Like, if he is going to be that character, then don't hide it too much, because it doesn't take a genius to kind of figure out that. Kind of sounded a bit like Jude Law. They kept the helmet on him, you know. He kind of had a similar build, so, you know, it might not be, I might be wrong, but that's kind of where I'm leaning at the moment. You know, I guess it's one of those, just don't treat the audience like they're idiots. Don't tag us along too much and draw things out. But it's done what it needs to do, that opening episode. Kind of set the scene, got them out into space, and I was worried, I was kind of like, I sat there thinking, how did they end up getting lost? Because that ship seems very, very entrenched in the ground and very old. As it turns out, it's actually pretty fine. But I'm guessing it's like an old Republic cruiser that crashed many, many hundreds of years ago. And it's on like an autopilot to like a home world or something. And eventually, somewhere along the way, they'll get, you know, caught up in a piratey adventure. So the next episode's only like half an hour long, which isn't a lot, including the credits, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty decent and fun opening episode. Can't really complain too much about that. We'll see what happens with the rest of the episodes. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I'll see you for the next one.